All right, ladies and gentlemen, distinguished guests, picture a large canvas in front of you that is filled with the colors and lines of possibility. This space contains not only a collection of words, but also a wealth of life-changing ideas that are just ready to be embraced and woven into your very being. Nowadays, I'm not just a speaker, I'm also a change agent, ready with a storehouse of life-changing advice that could cause big changes in your environment. Let's let go of the chains of doubt and fear as we gather here today, and instead open our hearts and minds to the endless possibilities that lie ahead of us. Because deep in the corners of our shared experiences are the seeds of greatness, ready to be cared for and grown into completion. We shape our personalities in the crucible of hardship, and our futures are made in the crucible of knowledge. But let's not only think about the bad things that happened in the past. Instead, let's use them to build a better tomorrow. Every problem we face and setbacks we experience is not a hindrance, but a waypoint that points us in the direction of our true mission. In the search for this purpose, our lives take on new meaning, and the things we do are filled with more clarity and passion. So, as we start this path of self-discovery and empowerment, let's do it with courage and determination, knowing that we all have the power to make a difference and create our own destiny, even when life is rough. Let's all welcome the knowledge that lies ahead of us and use it to bring us hope when things look the worst. So understanding is the most important thing for success. This society pays its smartest people the most because they know more about their jobs than most people. They are smarter and know more important facts, ideas, and information than most people in their area. In a knowledge-based culture, this means they can make a bigger difference and live the best life possible. Because they have more schooling, they are respected and valued more, make more money, and get promoted more often. If you want to make more money, you have to learn more. It is important to boost your intellectual capital and the value of the information you use in your work if you want to make more money and live the best life possible. And you need to start right now. My friend Jim Ron told me that formal education will help you make a living, but self-education will make you rich. Also, information is becoming outdated faster than ever, so you need to keep learning new things, or you'll fall behind. As the basketball teacher used to say, if you're not getting better, you're getting worse. In the same way, if you don't keep learning new things, what you already know will become useless over time. That's a good question. What piece of information would help you the most in your job? What kind of information would it be? Is it time management, marketing, or sales? You have to pick your goals, because you can't be good at everything. As the saying goes, one shot, one opportunity. I've learned that you shouldn't try to learn a lot of things. Instead, pick the most important thing you need to learn and become an expert in it. Skill is the second thing that makes you more likely to succeed, and it improves your strength. When learned correctly and used often, information turns into a skill. These days, while our skills are more mental than physical, we learn mental skills, which are effective ways to think, act, and choose what to do. The results are always the most important thing when it comes to information and skills. To be successful, you need to be in the top 10% of your area. This is something we know for sure is true. A Nobel Prize-winning economist named Gary Becker and I had dinner together in Chicago about 2 years ago. He wrote an article in the Wall Street Journal saying that we don't have an income gap in America today. What we have is a skills difference. It's important to know because the difference in income is a big problem in politics. There is a lack of skills here. In a market or sale, people with great skills are fought over. People want you and hire you, but people with average or mediocre skills aren't really in demand. No one's asking for them. Let me tell you a short story. There was once a nuclear power plant that had major issues with its machinery. This plant's ability to make electricity was cut by 40%. In one of his speeches, a nuclear engineer told me that the plant would lose between $1.2 and $1.3 million a day in electricity production because of what I told him. That's how big of a number the plant management was working with if it was at 40% and they couldn't find it. The plant was moving very slowly, and they had tried everything to figure out why. It just kept moving slowly. Finally, they faced reality and called MIT, which stands for the Massachusetts Institute of Technology and is usually just called MIT. MIT sent one of the best nuclear power plant experts in the country. He drove to the plant, put on a white coat, and began to walk through this huge control room. Taking notes and looking at the gauges and signs, he said, "Aha, That's the problem. At the end of the second day, he got up from a chair, took out a big black marker, and put a big black X on the gauge. He put down his notes and coat and said, "That's it. Replace this device and the whole plant will be back to full power." They thanked him for his time. He drove back to the airport and flew back to MIT. Everyone was ready to go. The engineering team was waiting for him to make up his mind, like runners on the starting line. At the end of his sentence, boom, they all worked together. After taking everything apart, they found that there was a big mechanical problem inside the device that could not be seen from the outside. They got to work right away. It was taken apart and rebuilt with brand new parts. When the switches were turned on, the whole plant was back up and running. They slapped each other on the back because they were so happy. They told each other how proud they were and gave each other support. There was happiness among them all, and it lasted for another week until they got a $10,000 bill from the expert for the work that was done. Chandler, the plant manager, called the chief maintenance engineer and said, "Look, that guy who came here, hung out for a few days, made an X on a gauge and sent us a $10,000 bill. That's ridiculous." The chief maintenance engineer said, "Yeah, we should have him itemize his bill." "Yes, let's do it. Let's have him itemize his bill." The plant manager then wrote to Max and said, "Dear sir, with all due respect, all you did was write an X on a gauge. $10,000 seems like a lot of money for that much work. Could you provide more detail on your invoice?" 10 days later, they got a new bill that said, "For writing an X on the gauge, $1. For knowing which gauge to write an X on, $999. It wasn't about how much physical work you had to do. This is especially true for your job. It was about how much mental work you had to do. So it's very important to decide to get to the top 10% in a smart and skilled way. Also remember this, no one is smarter or better than you." This really hit home for me because I got such bad grades in school. You are the smartest and best person in the world. You have more brain power than you could ever use in 100 lives. Things that matter are how hard you work to learn a subject, not what grades you got. Don't ever think that someone else is better than you. The third thing that will help you move forward and get ahead in life is to make new friends all the time. There will be someone or some people who open or close doors for you during every big change in your life. The amount of people who know you, like you, and want to help you will determine how likely you are to live the best life possible. If you want to get more friends, you have to keep networking. When you meet someone new, the easiest way to network is to ask them what they do and then offer to help them. People really like it when you can send them a client. A lot of people who network think, what can I get from this other person? When you meet someone who can help you, you should think, what can I give this person? What can I do for them? And how quickly can I do it? This will make people want to help you in the future. There will be effects you didn't expect if you plant seeds and look for ways to help other people. Find ways to give all the time. I've been teaching this rule for many years. The more you give without expecting anything in return, the more you will get from places you least expected. Don't forget that nature says so and nature grows. The fourth important thing for success that will help you get a lot more done in less time and move up in your career quickly is just good work habits. If you can maximize your return on investment, you can get a lot more done in less time than someone who is careless and disorganized. Most people are bad workers, which is a shame. They are not well organized, can't concentrate, and get sidetracked easily. They only work about half of what they can. They don't even seem to know how to work differently, which is a shame. This is a big issue these days. It would be like speaking a different language, even if they wanted to. They need to be shown how to do it. If you want to be successful, you need to change the way you work and concentrate. Think about changing your lens like a photographer does to make sure you can see your goal clearly. Before you do anything, you need to be sure that it will help you reach your goals. A lot of successful people know that doing things you don't need to do is the worst way to waste time. Being very good at something that doesn't need to be done is the worst thing that people can do with their time. To concentrate, you need to be able to keep your mind on a job until it's finished. Making this choice will make the things you do every day much better and more of them. Soon you'll be one of the most successful people in your field. Fifth, being honest is important for success. Trust is what holds all ties together. People will think it's much more likely that they can get what they want from you if they know you, believe in you, and trust that you'll keep your word and do what you say you'll do. This will make them feel more confident and speed up the process. People in business say that word of mouth is the most effective form of advertising ever found. People telling their friends and family about a business is responsible for 85% of its sales and success. Harvard Business School says that a company's reputation is its most important asset. Customers learn about a business through what they say about it and its goods and services. This is called the business's image. There's a very easy idea at the heart of my new book, Now Build the Great Business, that hit me like a big wet fish on the head after 30 years of study. How do you run a successful business? 90% of your success will depend on how good your product or service is. The key word here is excellent. It's a great service or product. How can you tell if your service or product is great? How do you know? People say, this is a great product, this is a great company, these are great people. This means that your whole future depends on how many or what percentage of times your customers say, this is a great product, after using your product or service. A lot of people think I can sell a bad product or one that's the same as the others. All I need is a trick to get people to buy it, and then I can run and find someone else. But any business that does well knows that this customer will be there for a long time. They also know that making the first sale is only the start of the process. The second sale will happen or not based on how they treat the customer during the first sale and how the customer responds. Make them come to you first instead of your competitors. That's the business rule I speak of. You should get them to come back because they liked the first time so much. Make them bring their friends too. They come to you first, then come back with friends, and your image is very important here. Companies in the movie business spend $50 million making a movie and another $50 million selling it to get people to go to the theaters the first week. They can't spend $50 million spread out over a few weeks, so they need people to see the movie and tell their friends about it. When people start to be interested in the movie and start talking their friends about it, you need to watch that movie. That's when the movie starts to do well. Why? Since it's their image at stake. In both of our lives, it's all about image. Your name is very important. The most important things about you are your character and honesty. One choice you must make is to never compromise your honesty. Creativity is the sixth thing. There is a straight link between being creative and being successful. How successful you are will depend on how creative you are. The more ideas you have for how to make your life better, the more successful you will be. There are always new ways to get better, whether it's how to do something better, faster, cheaper, or easier. What can they do to help their clients? They are always trying to find better ways to do things. How good your ideas are will depend on how many you have. It's true that 99% of business plans don't work. Did you understand? A lot of people are shocked. It looks like nothing is working no matter what you try. Once more, don't think there's something wrong with me. Try a lot of different things. If you do it right, you'll find the best way to do it. But you need a very large number of ideas. The seventh reason has to do with health. Most of the time, think about your health. You might want to eat less and better food. Think about working out every day. Take some time to rest. Remember that you need a lot of energy to do well in today's world. If you want to have a lot of energy, you need to eat well, get enough rest, and work out regularly. Last but not least, I want to say that we need speed these days. People can't just take it easy, so you need to move quickly. You can only relax going downhill. So quickly try out your good thoughts if you have them. Know that it won't always work, but give it a try. Then try something else, and then another, and another. Gather your rejections and mistakes and keep moving forward. You'll get better and smarter, even if you're not aware of it. You'll learn more the more you fail. As the lights come down on our time together, let us pass on the torch of inspiration that has been our guide today. Because the words we share and the knowledge we gain have the power to change not only our current situations, but also the very course of our future. Remember that the power to change your future lies in your own hands as you leave this meeting. Take the lessons you've learned and the new ideas you've come up with and use them as guide principles on your way to success and happiness. But don't forget, my friends, that information without action is just a bunch of words. When we put these truths into practice and strive for excellence and improvement every day, our lives really change. Be brave and sure of what you want, and know that every step you take brings you one step closer to your dreams coming true. And if you ever feel like giving up on this road, Remember what was said here today. Let them be a source of power and encouragement for you, a reminder of how much potential you have, because each of us is a thread in the fabric of life, and it is by weaving together all of our experiences that we make a work of art that is worth admiring. Friends, this is your chance to make the most of what's in store for you. The promise of a future full of plenty and happiness lies in following your dreams and pursuing your interests. Thank you for giving me the chance to go on this trip with you. May the wisdom you've learned today always make your lives better, and may you always aim for greatness in everything you do.